Just tell us, how difficult was it to bat there? The ball was hardly going off the square, actually, hitting hard, but still not going off the square. How difficult was it? Was the ball coming so slowly, or what was happening?
Yeah, we certainly made it look very difficult to bat, especially early on. I think, obviously, New Zealand bowled really well, and their spinners were quite accurate in the way that they sort of targeted the stumps, and the lower and slower it got, the harder it was to, as you say, hit it off the square. And yeah, I think we just took a while to adjust to the pace of the pitch, and there's a bit of turn there, but probably not as much as we thought there might be. It was just more, how slow and low it was, especially early.
Did you anticipate 8 straight overs of spin? It's the two finger spin of the left arm and the off-break.
Yeah, I think obviously their tactic worked pretty well, taking as many wickets as they did in the power play. And, I think especially on that kind of wicket when the ball's hard, it's probably easiest to score. And by taking the pace off the ball like they did, it made it hard to do that as well.
At the toss, Meg said 140 was what you were looking at. Was it a case of overestimating how much you wanted to get, or did you have to sort of readjust your score immediately after going into bat?
Obviously, when you lose as many wickets as we did in the first 6, you have to readjust and rebuild your innings. But I think, at the outset, it's probably a fair estimation of a good total. It's a really great outfield and quite quick. And, to New Zealand's credit, I think they showed that it was an okay wicket to bat on if you played the right shots. And we just got a bit caught early on with poor decisions.
Can you tell us what prompted the batting order change with Aaron Osborne coming up the order today?
Yeah, like I said, I think the fact that it was probably going to be easiest to score with the harder ball early on, and Erin's been hitting the ball fantastically well in the nets and really hard, and we just thought that there was a great opportunity for her to go out there and score some quick runs and really get some momentum for us in that first 6 overs. So obviously it didn't quite come off, but that was the thinking behind it.
Still 2 games to go. How deflating can a loss like this be, especially as games come thick and fast?
I don't think it's deflating at all. Obviously, it gives us something to work on, and we've got a few days of training before our next match, which is great. And everyone will be really keen to get back out there and just work on the things that didn't quite come off for us today. But I think the beauty of playing in World Cups is you've got games, as you say, coming thick and fast. So I think everyone will be really very much looking forward to going out there and playing again. And there's a lot of things that we want to do and improve on in these round matches, hopefully to qualify for the semi-finals.
Yeah. What did the team talk about during halftime, actually, during the break, how to defend 1-0-3? They got off to a great start, 50-plus start.
Yeah, they did. But I think at halftime we sort of spoke about there was a really good opportunity to come out and take some early wickets like they did. And, it wasn't the easiest of conditions today. So, we felt that in any case, runs on the board's always an advantage, but we needed to bowl really well. And again, New Zealand sort of dominated those first 6 overs of the power play with the bat as they did with the ball. And that hurt us a bit. But as I said, I think they played really well today, and we just weren't quite there.
You've had 2 games in Nagpur. Did you feel, since you've been here, you've already played 1 game here, that you had a better sense of the conditions, but at the same time, you were on a different strip today? How different was it from the previous game?
Oh, it was very different from the other game. I think the other wicket had a bit more pace in it, a bit more bounce, certainly less turn. It was a quite different game given the conditions that we played on today versus the game against South Africa. So, I think it was a great field. It's got a really quick outfield, and it's a really nice place to play cricket. But obviously the conditions and the pitch, as they were for the men's match here a week or so ago, are quite difficult.
Australia, England, or Australia and New Zealand in women's cricket, which is the bigger rivalry, and what actually gets you going before a game against the Tasman rivals?
We always love playing our Kiwi mates. They're a fantastic side and have been truly competitive in women's cricket for a number of years now. And we've played a lot of cricket against them in the last month or so. And I think they're one of the favourites for the tournaments. They've got a lot of weapons in their lineup, and they seem to be playing some really consistently good cricket. So for us it's always nice playing them wherever we're playing them, at home or at a World Cup or over in New Zealand. We certainly always look forward to those games, and this has been a big game on our calendar for a number of years now, since we were sort of leading into the World Cup.
For the last few series, losing early wickets in the power play has sort of been a consistent problem, aside from that warm-up match against the Windies. What are you guys working on and focusing on to try and combat that?
Yeah, it has been a problem, and we've sort of had a few different opening combinations, but I think we're really settled now with our batting order, and yeah, it's just about being consistent really, and yeah, I'll probably have to go back and look at sort of the dismissals today and what exactly happened, but yeah, I'm very much confident in our top 4 or 5 players to bat really well and take on that power play. We just, yeah, I guess it's just something we haven't quite managed to do consistently in the last few months. But yeah, hopefully, given we've got a couple more matches in the round stages, we can really start to nail that.
And given New Zealand have had such a good record of late, I think they've won 10 of their last 12. Would you say they're pretty much up there as the tournament favourites now?
I think they'd be really confident with the kind of cricket that they're playing. Yeah, they're a fantastic competitor, and yeah, I think in a World Cup anyone's in with a shot. But yeah, they're certainly in form and leading the way. The way they play today, and I think the way they took it to us in their batting innings really shows that they've got great intent to come and win this tournament. So I think for whatever team plays them, they're going to be a big challenge.
Expect the match to go the easy way as it happened? It's quite comfortable dominating both the power plays.
I don't think I ever thought Australia would be 4 for 4. I was in a bit of shock myself, but our bowlers bowled really well up front, and I knew if we bowled well in that first 6, we could keep them to a score that we could chase down. But it still wasn't easy the way they came back after being 4 for 4 and still getting over 100. We still had to do the job with the bat.
What did you exactly see in the pitch to bowl the first 8 overs of spin, both finger spinners?
Yeah, I guess there'd been a lot of talk about the wicket, and the Black Caps had played India on that wicket and said it was slow and would turn. And so we thought about the first 6 and that being really important, and decided, although Leah Tahuhu's been doing a really good job for us, that we'd take the pace off for the first 6 and maybe use it later on. But in the end, I just thought pace off was the best option, and that proved to be right.
Did you take notes from that game that the Black Caps won, to considering it was played on the same wicket?
Not really. We're realistic that we don't jag the ball as much as the men do, and I back our spinning line up, and we've got a couple of girls that turn the ball, but it's more about the pace. And we had a chat to Mark Hesson and asked about the conditions and what the wicket played like, but we also didn't want to read too much into that, knowing that women's cricket and the pace of the ball is slightly different. So we thought we just wanted to see how it played and not try and predict too much what it was going to do.
You took a risk up front by bowling out both Morna Nielsen and Leigh Kasperek. Were you a little tense at the back end when they were going after your medium pacers, you and Divine?
Yeah, when I had to bowl, I wish Leigh still had a few overs. But yeah, it was a bit of a risk. But when we had them 4 for 4, I really wanted to put the foot down, and Morna and Leigh were bowling so well, I saw it a real opportunity to get even more wickets. In hindsight, it would have been nice to have Leigh in particular later on in the innings, but she did such a good job for us up front that I thought the likes of Sophie and Amy later on could still do a job. We perhaps, letting them get over 100, there's a few things we could have done differently, so we'll reflect on that and see where we can make some change.
What about the batting approach? I mean, you came out, batted and made the wicket look completely different. Was that a conscious effort to go after the bowling?
Yeah, I think it was the way Australia batted near the end of the innings with their positive intent. It just proved there was no real demons, and so we went out there and just thought we'd play good cricket shots, and that's the way Rachel Priest plays, and she was outstanding. She hasn't been in the best form in the recent games, and for her to come out like that in a big match against Australia and just back herself to clear the field was awesome to see. So she really set the innings off to a positive note and allowed everyone else to just come out and play good cricket shots.
And are there shots that you particularly relish, that inside-out six over cover?
Yeah, it felt pretty good.
7 meters, which is the longest have you cleared?
Oh yeah, it was right in the slot and I sort of just cleared my front hip, but we've got a few girls that can hit the ball a long way, so it's always nice when it comes out of the middle of the bat and clears the rope.
And now 3 wins in 3, and then again the old enemy South Africa in the 4th game. What next? I mean, how do you plan for that game now?
Yeah, it's really nice now. We've had a pretty tight schedule with a lot of travel, and we go to Bangalore tomorrow. We actually have a few days off, which is really nice feeling with 3 wins up our sleeve. And I think last tournament we learnt from the run rate, and I hope we're in a pretty good position with our run rate now in a big game against South Africa. So if we can play as well as we have been, it'll be a good lead into hopefully the semi-finals. But have a few days off and just enjoy this win.
You said you have a few days off. How do you typically unwind? How do you plan to unwind over the next couple of days?
Yeah, it's good because we've actually been to Bangalore. We toured there last year in July, so we know a few things around to do. It'll just be about letting the girls have some time off, have some space. It's been a pretty intense couple of weeks, and it's going to get even more intense. So just allowing the girls to do what they need to do, get away from cricket and not think about it, and then be ready to train and hit South Africa.
Has your flight plan changed, or it's going via Delhi, Chandigarh? What is it like? Flying directly to Bangalore or via Bombay? What is it like?
Yeah, I don't know. We just like to make the most of our flying time and see more of India, and yeah, we just get some air points up. But I think tomorrow it's just via Mumbai, so not
Via
too bad.
Mumbai, okay.